I felt like I was getting distracted. Like I couldn't go a week, couldn't go days without just not being around people to have a break from the grind. That's the thing. I needed to be at this point in my life where there is no break. Where do I begin? Being a creative, that's what I like to consider who I am and what I do. Like, I'm a creative. I'm someone that if there's something passionate that I really want to see come to life, something like in me, like I just can't help but try to figure out how to make something that's from here be something tangible, something physical. I feel like throughout the years of my career so far, trying to make sure I bring whatever's in here just out physically, whether it's an idea, whether it's a concept, whether it's a theme, whether it's just something that I've never seen before, but I like to see it, a story, you know what I mean? Like I feel like my whole life has just been dedicated to just being a creative, but actually following that passion and making sure I'm always inspiring. That's what our whole passion is built off of. It's built off of whatever we could think of within ourselves, but it's also something that's built off of what we see around us, you know what I mean? Inspiration is basically your heart and your mind communicating. To me, that's what inspiration is in my own personal definition, you know what I mean? That's how I physically break it down, or, break it down into words, and that's just how I feel. My heart just gets this intense rush, like, yo, all right, it just got to just talk to my mind, like, yo, how can we get from here to here? But the crazy thing, from here to here, it's not just this one straight path. It's almost like a stock chart, you know what I mean? Some days your progress to wherever you're going is gonna be here. Some days it's gonna drop. Some days it's gonna drop even lower. Some days it's gonna spike right back up, and you feel like it's not making progress. But when you just zoom out and look at the whole chart of the time span of what you've been working on to get from here to here, it's really just up and down till it makes it to the top. I feel like that's just important as an artist and just a creative, or whatever it is that someone's doing. Another big thing I be talking to people about is consistency. Now, consistency is one of them things to me. You could be so consistent in something. You could be doing something like this, like all day, on time, getting better. But if it's not going into the right path, you're pretty much, leading yourself along somewhere you don't know. And I always got this little analogy in my head. It makes sense to me. Hopefully it makes sense to, whoever's watching. It's like being just dropped in like the middle of the ocean, right? And you got to somehow just get to shore. Now you can be consistent going, take a little break, whatever. I mean, technically, you can't, you'll drown, but are you heading towards like the island or shore? And that's the crazy part about like being on anyone's journey in life. You just never know if where you're going is actually on the way to where you need to be or to where you want to be. You also have to make sure the direction is right, and that's the part that you'll never know. With the help of family, friends, mentors, people along the way in your journey. As of this recording, I'm 12 years in, just being a graphic designer, being a creative, being someone where this is what I do for a living and this is what I only want to do. When I used to work at like McDonald's, like right after high school, those like the times where this isn't what I picture myself doing, or climbing the ranks in this space. I'd always just be up doing like the night shift, just telling myself like, nah, like I gotta, create, I gotta make something, I gotta do this. And every time I got off of work, like 6 a.m, get home probably about 6:30, shower, everything done by like 7, I'll probably stay just a little longer, make beats, edit videos, come up with concepts, come up with themes. And I would just keep making sure I do that every day, just being consistent. I didn't know the direction, but I knew that somewhere along the line, I will get where I need to be. A little after that, I moved down to Florida. I figured it was time for a bigger opportunity to be chased. A lot of my friends and family were definitely excited for me. They thought like this was gonna be like the next big step for me. Once I figured out it wasn't what I wanted it to be or what I thought it was gonna be, that's when I said, nah, I didn't wanna go back home to, New York, because I had to get away from the distractions. I love my family, friends, and everybody I knew out there, but I felt like I was getting distracted. Like I couldn't go a week, I couldn't go days without just not being around people to have a break from the grind. That's the thing. I needed to be at this point in my life where there is no breaks. There is no, taking some time off. Like it's just strictly just doing this and only knocking this out. I took those times just perfecting the craft, just being consistent every single day. Your brain just starts kind of getting this thing where it's like, I'm making progress. It just shuts out everything else of how you feel. because you're just more focused on making that progress. So as you make that progress and you grow and you progress, it's just like you'll look back and like, damn, it's been a week, damn, it's been a month, sheesh, it's been a year or whatever. And sometimes I get to this point where, yo, it's 12 years and it's like, yo, here it doesn't feel like it because this is all I've been focused on. So I just put this message in this video together just pretty much to tell people like, look, if there's something that you're passionate about, like just go for it. Don't think about how long it's gonna take. Don't worry about how old you'll be when you get there. It doesn't matter. As long as you start today or you're in the process of it now, just keep going. Whatever advice you take from people along the way, always take it with a grain of salt, because advice that someone's gonna give you isn't particularly tailored to you. So you gotta just really trust within your gut, like what works for you. And you gotta be so in tune with who you are and what works for you and your craft that you know, okay, this works for me, this don't. You also gotta be the type of person to just have the balls to just invest into yourself. You know, I tell people all the time, you are your biggest asset. But I've also learned along my journey, like, you also gotta appreciate rest and appreciate time. That's like the oil to the engine that's gonna make sure you keep running. You know what I mean? You could keep running all you want, but if you're not like a well-oiled machine, you're gonna crash and burn. And I learned that a lot throughout my, journey as an entrepreneur. There's been a lot of times where I crashed and burned because I just think, yeah, I just keep going, I'm gonna be all right. I can keep doing this. I've been up for 72 hours. Let's go for another 24. You know what I mean? All right, I've been doing this for a week. Let's do another week. Let's do another month, But I slowly started realizing like, nah, I gotta be, you know what I mean? Like well-oiled. I gotta make sure I could keep going, So take care of yourself. Give yourself mental breaks. Make sure you get your rest. Make sure you're mentally in a good space to keep doing is what you're doing, especially if it comes with stuff that can bring down your energy, bring down your frequency, you know what I mean? You gotta make sure you maintain that at all times, because no one else is gonna sit there and maintain it for you. No one else is gonna sit there and check on you. You might have people that might ask, hey, you doing good, you okay? But they're not gonna do nothing until it's too late. That's the reality of it. Nobody's gonna do nothing until it's too late. And if you do got someone that's willing to do something before it's too late, keep that person close, like love that person, keep those people around you near and dear, because not a lot of people's gonna do that for you. And that's a lot of stuff I learned on my journey, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just grateful, I'm grateful at this point because I finally feel like I got to a point where, all right, everything makes sense. I feel like I finally reached the shore, right? After being in the ocean. But now I gotta build. So now we on to part 2. And this is what I always tell people, People always tell me like, yo, man, like you doing it, bro. Like, yo, you really doing it. You doing it, like, yo, you doing it big, you doing it. And I be telling people, yeah, yo, I'm trying. And everybody I know, man, like I put this on my soul. Everybody I know always says, what you mean you trying, bro? Like you doing it? Like, what are you talking about? You're doing it. Stop saying you trying. Yeah, like I'm trying. I'm trying because I'm trying to maintain. Not trying to get there. I'm trying to maintain where I got. I'm trying to be the best at where I'm at. I'm trying to stay the best at where I'm at. I'm trying to make sure that there is competition. You can't even be considered competition respectfully, because I'm trying to maintain that. I'm gonna maintain my position. And that's what I mean when I tell people like, yo, I'm trying. It's not trying to get there. It's trying to stay here. You know what I mean? It's trying to build longevity, legacy here. It's almost like I'm talking to myself in the future, like, and I can't wait to see this years from now, because I'm now trying to create my own legacy. It's funny, all the stuff that I've done so far, it adds to it, but it's really not an imprint of what I want people to know me for. You know what I mean? I want it to be like what gets me there. I hope like I could look at myself and say like, yeah, like this is the moment in time where the fire is just fueled even more. I'm trying to create like my own, story, like my own characters, my own IP that, can really be like me. And I hope everybody that's been supporting me along the way, helping me grow, helping me become who I am as of now, can help follow me into this new arc, this new journey where my own original IP is gonna set the bar for what a graphic artist, or a creator can do. My style is, I tell people this all the time, it's a mixture of pop culture, graffiti, hip hop, art, nostalgia. It's just a mixture of just the stuff that speak to me, but I wouldn't even say what it is I'm drawing. It's definitely how I draw it. I got the type of line work, if I had to put it into words, the type of line work where you can feel the emotion on what I'm drawing. You know what I mean? When I put some rough lines, you could tell like I was in there, just just really trying to make sure like it looks how I want it to look, you know? When people talk to me and they say, yo, I love your artwork, I love what you do, like it's the line work, you know, it all starts with that because that's what creates the molding for the colors to sit. The colors is definitely one of the flyest parts to me of the process because that's like when you really just see everything just full circle just come together and it just looks amazing. It starts to look realistic, even though it's a 2D image and it look like it's boom, like popping out at you. And that's what I love about it. I experiment and use colors that are not even in the same hue structure of the chart because I know somewhere deep down, like with the right amount of, you know, coloring, just eye picking it, not even going off the code, like this will look good together. And even if it don't, it's somehow the surrounding colors around it will make it complement it somehow. If y'all really know me, y'all know like I love Easter eggs, man. I love looking at a piece, knowing that there's 10 different things I can talk to you about, 10 or more different things I could talk to you about in this piece. And I'm almost pretty sure you didn't even know half of it, yet alone like a quarter of it. You know what I mean? I think that's like the fun part when I'm at like the cons and meeting like, you know, followers and fans and supporters like, yo, I noticed you did this. I noticed you did that. I noticed you put that in. That puts such a warm feeling, you know what I mean? Like right here, you know what I mean? Because it's like, you noticed, you paid attention, even if it was obvious. You'd be surprised how much obvious stuff just fly over people's heads and they don't grasp it. But when people take the time out to grasp what I put into this piece or any piece, it just means a lot to me, you know? I've been trying to shift my focus for what I want to do for me, for what I want to do for the family, you know what I mean? For like what's yet to come. So I try to implement my daughter in a lot of like the content I'm creating. She damn near went viral like on TikTok, you know, 2 million views on one of her videos.
My 2-year-old daughter genuinely enjoys cars.
Okay, good. Okay. There we go. Okay.
There you go.
It just happened, you know, like, and it was all genuine. Just her just enjoying, you know, like the little kid car Tasha that I made, you know, based off my vehicle. Shout out to Yo Huey right there. Like that's like the real boss lady right there. Like she makes sure everything is tight knitted and just comes together. We're just trying to make sure that we can raise our daughter to just have the life that, you know, we haven't had particularly, but she could take it and run with it for her journey, you know, of consistency wherever she wants to go. I did everything I need to do to create that. Now I got to create that and work on it. And like I said before, like it's not about getting there. Getting there is like the easiest part compared to maintaining it. You gotta maintain it. You gotta have the mindset, the sheer will, like the fire in you to maintain wherever it is that you're going, or actually wherever it is that you plant yourself at, because you gotta stay there. So family's definitely a huge part of the journey now. It's actually the most important part. I wasn't always open to collaborating at first. I remember in the beginning of my journey, right, I'd make like some dope, amazing art, and then somewhere along the line, somebody would steal it. You know, there's a lot of people that, you know, take my art and take what I do and, you know, resell it for themselves. And it used to hurt me a lot as an artist, you know. I remember like I'd wake up to like Facebook ads of like my own art, my own concepts, my own creations being sold through some other third party person or someone who ordered this on Alibaba or whatever. I've been, you know, to stores like physically in the mall where like they have my art, and it used to anger me, man. It used to really get me upset. But then I had to just be realistic with myself for two things. One, I'm no different. I'm pretty much taking concepts from other IPs and I'm creating my own. You know, that's the honest truth about it. So I'm really no different than the person who's stealing from me. You get what I'm saying? If you rob somebody and someone robs you, could you still call the cops because you robbed somebody else? Like, it's funny, but that's just how I look at it. You know, like it's the real honest truth. So I know a lot of people go out their way to show me and say, you should report them, you should sue them, you should go to court, do this. Technically, there's no point, which is why I need to get to the next arc of my life to where you do take my shit, now I can do something about it. You know what I mean? But that's one thing I had to just kind of come to terms with and just realize, like, I'm no different than the people that's stealing from me. So why even stress it? Why even worry about it anymore? You know, this is just me being super honest and open, because a lot of people keep asking me, you gotta do something about it. You got no. Why? Let them steal it. They can't move without me, because I'm your next move. So if you really know my art, or you really know who I am, or you really want to find out more from the source, you're gonna try to figure out who really created this. Now, if you're just someone out there just saying you made it, which I've seen, it's almost like they're kind of fake pushing me and fake helping me grow. So that's something else I had to just kind of come to terms with, like, don't take it too serious, not your stuff. Don't take it too serious. It's kind of helping you grow. And the last thing is that why focus on it? Like, why focus on what they're doing? You know, I got a family to take care of. I got a team to make sure that they get paid for what they do. That's contributing to, you know, my journey, which is to contribute to what we're all doing, you know? So why am I so worried about what these people are doing? You know what I mean? Like, and then also, honestly, actually, a fourth point to it. It's like a big game of whack-a-mole. Let's say if I really do put the effort to stop someone or get them reported or whatever, I guarantee in like a week or right now as we're speaking, someone else is gonna do the same thing. It's a never-ending game. So why waste the time playing whack-a-mole with all these people that's gonna keep copying and stealing and stuff when it's just gonna keep happening? You know what I mean? Unless I hire someone full-time. So if you want a job doing that, you know, DM me, whatever. But until then, it really doesn't make any sense. So this segment is definitely for artists and creators that are dealing with what I've learned when it comes to people stealing or copying or doing anything that you feel hurts you as an artist. Because when I tell you I understand, like, I get it. You feel violated in a sense. You feel disrespected. You feel hurt in a sense that someone went out their way to take what you spent your time and your energy and your effort on. And I feel you on that. And I completely understand that. But you gotta, like, just mature in a sense. It took me time. It took me a lot of time, actually, to just realize that they need you to move. They're not gonna make that move without you. So with that being said, how much further than you can they go? You get what I'm saying? It is what it is. You're not me. You can never be me. You dream to be me. You want to be me, but you can't be me. They can't be you. You know what I mean? So just take that into consideration when, you know, you just see that happening. And anytime you're DMing me, just remember this message. If you've seen this, like, I don't care. I appreciate it, but I don't care. I've learned not to care because it doesn't matter. I'm always gonna be here. They're always gonna be coattailing behind me. And all I gotta do to do that is just move so far beyond them that they can't even be within my same lane anymore, you know? And that's where I'm at mentally. Just keep doing it. Like, I'm gonna go further than you know what I'm saying? You're not gonna outwork me, I promise you that. I've been taking a lot of time this year and these upcoming years to trying to make sure I just do some amazing collaborations on products and putting, you know, my artwork in places where, you know, it's really appreciated, you know? Like, I've had the opportunity of having, like, my artwork in, like, Super Saiyan, you know, Super Saiyan 1, 2 in Jacksonville, and 3, you know, here in Orlando. And that's been nothing but, like, a blessing to see my art in a restaurant, you know, make me walking in, make me feel like it's mine, you know what I mean? Like, I built that place from scratch, which I did, you know, shout out to the whole team. I love y'all. But I'm just saying, in a sense, knowing that my art is that inspiring to light up the mood and set the aura in a restaurant is dope. From working with Rats for Less to making, like, my dream car come to life, you know? Side note, I always wanted, like, a vet when I was in high school. And when I just got old enough and I just worked my ass off enough to achieve it, I was like, it would be even cooler if this was in my artwork. So it's like, I'm really driving, like, my dream car, you know what I'm saying? I'm driving in a car that I love, I appreciate, and it's in my art. Like, when I see people, like, look at that car and they think, okay, I just got the images from Google, it's like, you're wrong. I did this. Like, this all me. Like, this all me on this vehicle. So that's what makes it the dream car. It's not the car. It's the concept. You know, Rats for Less, Galley Panda with the amazing curly prints. You know, just the high quality prints of my artwork that are backlightable and, you know, you can't even, damn near can't break them because it's just so indestructible. Like, they make some dope products. To the amazing stuff, you know, at Vinyl Labs, you know, with the skate decks and the stickers, to the canvases from Top Canvas, and also the canvases I got from Canvas Freaks, to whatever else is to come, you know what I mean? along with whatever I create, you know, with the virus graphics artwork or the LSD artwork, you know. Money is one of them things that is so relevant of a number that you really start to realize like there's never enough. Like I remember I used to watch stuff like with millionaires and, you know, billionaires, like why they keep working? They should just have enough. They should be good. Like no, you also got to be smart with it too. But also when you're someone who's like a creator or a passion, this is also something I wanted to make sure I just, you know, vent about or get out there for people. Make sure whatever it is that you do in life, don't do it for the money. If you do it for the money, it's not gonna last long. But if you do it because you love it, it's gonna last forever. You know what I mean? If you could do whatever it is that you do and not have to worry about getting paid for it, that's when you know you got something that like, yeah, like this is gonna take you where you gotta go. And you always want to make sure, you know, you keep a clear mind of taking care of yourself, investing into yourself. Like I said before, you are your biggest asset, you know what I mean? So you got to make sure like that's taken care of. But you're also investing and taking care of the stuff that will allow you to keep taking care of yourself or whatever it is that you do. So those are some real, you know, key parts when it comes to money and finances. One thing I realized that the distance is always the same. From $10 to $100 is the same as 1,000 to 10,000. 10,000 to 100,000 is the same. It's all the same distance. You just got to figure out whatever it is that makes it, you know, consistent to get to that, you know, that number. I know it sounds like a lot, but to me it makes a whole lot of sense. But just keep that in mind. But if you love whatever that you're doing, it doesn't hurt you. It doesn't hurt anyone around you. You know, you'll get there. Like the money is just a plus. I love everybody on the team. I see so much potential in everybody that's a part of my journey, you know, because I hope that being a part of what I'm doing can teach you the lessons and give you the insight on what nobody never taught me. You know what I mean? Like the team is definitely an amazing part because like they're the ones that's gonna help the machine stay well oiled, you know, and keep it going. So treat your team right. Make sure everybody who works with you, is associated with you, or appreciates, you know, your work enough to work with you is always appreciated. You know, that's one of the key parts. I try to make an environment where it's hard work. We got a lot of shit to do. We got a lot of shit to take care of, but like we're also still like a family at the end of the day, you know, and we're all here obviously for a reason to grow within each other. Whatever I'm doing today, learn from it. Whatever mistakes we make today, learn from it. You know what I mean? Whatever mistakes you make with yourself, you're here to learn from it. Shout out the whole team, man. Love y'all, appreciate y'all. Hopefully we're still here, you know, to the next stage, whoever is to come. Hopefully, you know, you find like a nice space and fitting into what we're doing, and we could just keep growing. You know, we got to be consistent in this. Consistency is one of my best things that I tell people all the time because that's what you need to keep going. But just make sure you're consistent in the right direction, and a good team will help you stay in that right direction. But you gotta know where you're going to make sure we're going in the right direction. It's a lot. Social media in my journey has been one of the biggest love-hate relationships. And this segment is just specifically for people that go through what I still go through. When you feel like you're posting something, you feel like you put out your best work, you feel like you put your all into this last post or this last piece of content, but you feel like nobody's seeing it. You feel like nobody's caring. You feel like nobody's liking it. No one's appreciating the time and effort you put into that. I want to say this part of this video to let people know, don't worry about the numbers. Don't worry about the engagement. Don't worry about the insights. Look at it, take a look at it, you know, be aware of where your numbers are. It doesn't make or break where you are as a creator that day, because that's how I used to feel. You know, we also gotta, as creators, you know, stick together and let each other know that all of our art and what we do is appreciated, no matter what platform it is on. The algorithm is always going to be somewhat against us because remember, we're catering to what this platform wants to show rather than what we feel the world needs to see. I still have to remind myself and tell myself, just because this post did not get a lot of likes today does not mean nobody cares. Because I know I put my best foot forward into that piece, or I put my most creative juices into this project, you know what I mean? So just back up, look at the whole chart, and just know that like it's going to be appreciated. If it's not today, it's definitely one day. And that's, once I started thinking like that, you know, I just come to terms with just social media. Use it as a tool, but don't let the tool use you. You know what I mean? Make sure you're always on top of the craft. Don't worry about the numbers. The numbers will come. The Virus Graphics Studio. Welcome to my state. Nah. All looks aside, no, the studio is definitely a collaboration between me and, like my wife, CEO Huey. Shout out to her, She's done an amazing part on her end of just making sure this all comes together. This all is the space that is what we need to grow. I say that because now it's a space where like you can come and visit and experience my art all in one space. I can shoot and create content whenever I feel like it now in one space. I don't have to rent or buy anymore. Like, this is my space. And I can rent it out. It's available for rent. So if you want to use a content space to make some amazing content like this or whatever else is in your mind, you can come to the studio. We got lights, we got cameras, and we got action. So that's all you need. You know what I mean? Like, the grand opening was great. It was amazing to see how many people and family and friends and supporters that some people I've never even seen till that day just come out their way, or people that have drawn or flown from different cities just to be here and experience the full Virus art, like right there. You know what I mean? Like, that was dope. I would say that was one of the most happiest moments of my career, where everybody's here just supporting. It didn't have to be a lot of people, but the fact they took the time to come out, I appreciate that so much. And I thank all the supporters, all the fans, everybody that's ever shared, repost, purchased art, told someone about my art, tattooed my art, gave me shout outs on their live, their streams, their videos, went out their way to stop me mid-conversation or have a conversation with me at the corner, how much they love it. Like, I appreciate all of that. And it was hard to feel like one day people will appreciate what I'm doing. It was hard to feel like it even makes a difference in anybody's life, what I'm creating. And I'm pretty sure people feel that same way too with whatever they're doing. It can be hard sometimes when you're not getting the praise, but just know that when people take the time out to say thank you or say that they love what you do, you appreciate that moment, because you're gonna remember those times when no one did it. To myself in the future, like, you know what I mean? Like, I hope I'm there. No, matter of fact, I know I'm there. And it all starts from here. Be consistent, build that network. Don't let social media affect what you think about who you are or what you're doing. Just know that if you think it's good, it's good, then it's good. And appreciate those who love and support you. And like, those are the 4 big things I want to make sure anyone takes away from this video. Just keep going. It's not about getting there, it's about maintaining it there. And that's why I always say I'm trying, and I'm never gonna stop trying. Appreciate y'all.
You don't get a break when you the boss. You never played if you never took a loss. God body, I ain't gotta wear a cross. Chicken nugget, bitch, I'm dipped in that sauce. Switching lanes to 100 when I'm high. Surefire, it's 100 if I slide. Oh, you ain't never seen a God? What am I? You wanna make it independent? I'm your guy. It's never sweet when they divvy up the pie. If I had a deal like y'all, I would cry. Probably curl up in a ball, probably die. But that's the difference between you and I. Took gang all the way to NY. 737, bitch, I'm fly. Nigga, I just wrote a verse in the sky. Handle biz like a nigga in a tie. Fuck it, if they love it. I'm independent, nigga, I ain't got no budget. I said fuck it, if they love it. We just sold our Harlows with no budget. Nigga, fuck it, if they love it. I'm independent, nigga, I ain't got no budget. I said fuck it, if they love it.